Are we ready? We're up and going. We will reconvene the budget workshop that was recessed yesterday afternoon. First thing, want to congratulate Tammy, the auditor, a new grandma. So I think she was up most of the night when then she got home and started doing numbers. So we'll try not to overwhelm her with questions, Tammy. So congratulations. So we did get through every budget yesterday, I believe, except for the 1,000 category. So that's where we're at today. So historically, it doesn't mean that's the way we have to do it, but we have usually discussed if we were to be able to give a general raise. When that decision is made, we historically have gone through the book and budget by budget to see if there's any adjustments from that we want to make above that. So with that, we're up for any discussion that you want to have. Don't everybody speak at once.
Look at some number of corrections over here. What's that? Looking at you because you're crunching numbers over there. Oh, I just was adding up this.
I guess maybe before, Tammy has sent budget numbers from the budgets from the 2, 3, and 4,000 categories to Baker Tilly, and kind of waiting on where they haven't got back yet. But I'm guessing we're probably in pretty good shape, I think.
Yes, as I was looking and redoing, there was some departments when you guys zeroed out landfill, they had already put in county general, so the numbers you were receiving kind of reflected already in county general. So even though it's saying we were using cash for sure, so I think we're gonna be pretty good.
So some of that stuff that we've moved out of landfill was in both, so it really didn't affect the numbers on county general because it was already in.
It's already in. They
But some of it, not all of it. And then I guess also, you did get a head of paper this morning. This came from Baker Tilly. I had asked that they tell us what the dollar impact was on a 1%, 2% raise. And Tammy just confirmed this does include the county's portion of FICA that would go to that. It's the cash and this. So in each one of these budgets, so the top with county general, a 1% raise would the cost to the county would be $62,130, and that should be the total cost, not just the say the gross pay. It would be including benefit.
This is based on 2025 salaries, not what they should.
Yeah, not the projected in the book. It's on last year's salary. And then each one of these that are listed, county general, ambulance, health, each one of these budgets have employees. So this should be the total cost. The only thing that didn't add up the total at the bottom.
I added them up. It's basically 100,000, 200,000. Like 97.
So 1%'s around $100,000.
Yeah, two's around 2.
Ballpark. Great. Great. Some of us have discussed, I mean, I don't want to do all the talking here, but talk about past a little bit. You know, the last few years, we have determined a kind of base it off percentage on an average salary, but flat amount of and said 64 cents or 65.
65.
Last year, the year before was 50 something. I asked Tammy what she would prefer, a percentage or a flat amount. I think she thought it works a little easier for her if we are going to give a raise, that it'd be a set amount, a little less math that they have to push in.
And then you just, so if we set a flat hourly rate, then for salaried employees, you'll just take that, whatever that rate is, times 2080. That's what determine that salary adjustment.
Right.
And in the past, whatever that amount was last year, 65 cents, that was every pay matrix, every part-time, that was on every salary is how it was done, or
Okay.
that was the intent.
Yes. Just
A little history of how it has been.
or this year.
But for discussion. But everybody's got the ones.
Everybody's looking at me.
I feel that I feel these budgets were presented to us. People thought it through, really going through that the easiest in 19 years that I've been involved in. But everybody was prepared. I thank everybody for that, because it was really nice. Dollars are tight, changes in Indianapolis, and then decisions the council's made with landfill money in the past few years have tightened the dollars. But I think there's some,
Yeah,
that's my personal philosophy.
I would second that. Again, this is my first time through the process, but I'm very thankful for everybody in the budgets that were brought to us, because it was very evident that people thought about what they brought to us and understood that money was tight. And I appreciate the cuts people made, proactively, and the things that people looked at and helped us. I was very appreciative of that.
You have some discussions about stipend, fixed dollar amount.
I did ask, about that. I spoke, with Michael last night and confirmed that it was discussed in the past and we can do that. As a matter of fact, they do that at the school board done that at the school. So we do have the ability to do some sort of a just fixed amount or fixed stipend.
If we did something like that.
I think some of the question comes up on that then is part-time, we're gonna do that to part-time, the second is full-time. I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I think if you're just gonna be flat, throw it out $750 or $1,000 or whatever to everybody. Is that equal, equitable as the full-time versus part-time? I don't-
I guess I would be in favor of full part the same. Maybe the only distinction is if you've been here less than 6 months or 3 months or something, I'm not advocating that those people get nothing, but if it's for easy math, say it's 1,000, if you've been here 6 months, you get 500 of that, or 3 months, you know. I would be in favor of everybody, no matter how new you are, getting something.
How do you figure out, it's like some people just use dumb numbers, $1,000 for a full-time guy, and private or part-time. There's some part-time people that work 3 days a year.
Yeah, and I know it's not fair to every,
That's, I mean,
yeah,
that's-
and I guess and
And if I was a part-timer, I work, 30 hours a week, and the guy that worked 2 days all year, the guy say, my God, I'd be. Maybe it's just easier, not to do his thing.
Well, it might be something that put back in our minds or work on it.
Yeah, I think it could work. Again,
Probably one of the things historically that the council has done over the years is we've come up with an idea. I'm not saying it's a bad one, but yeah, that sounds pretty good. If we take action on it and then find out that triggered a whole bunch of events down the road,
Yeah.
it's kind of like.
agree.
Would it be hard to track attendance? Like, to maybe base it off of. The attendance?
To me, it just seems to be a lot simpler to figure out an hourly.
yeah, I agree. For now,
At least
we're researching.
think this through.
Yeah.
But chime in.
No, I'm with you. I think we need to think it through. I want my formula for next year. Tracking. it
Yes, we wanna
based on
consider
our,
that.
and think about the unintended consequences. Like trying to. Yeah, like, who's this gonna take on? What's this gonna, what's gonna, how much are we gonna cause her? How much? We're still waiting for something to say till.
Oh, not necessarily.
I
I think so. I think our numbers are kind of.
Question is a newbie, like when Judge Ryan needs the extra hours for his budget. Is that separate from all this or?
In that we'll set the wage and then
She works there 5 hours, and that's just part of it.
she'll be. So the rest of the judicial is working 35 hours a week. Their pay rate is probably the same as some of them 40, but they're working more hours than we get paid. They're, yeah, department's choice still. Everybody else is 40. I think everybody in the county is 40. Except the judicial.
His office, both judges, they're also getting the same percentage raise as everybody else. They raise their hours.
Gotta work the hours to get. I mean, you get the raise. But there's one position there that's 40, will get. She'll earn more money because she'll. What's that thing? From Susan. So. When we were talking yesterday, Matt, you and I were kind of roughly. It's the first deputy's salary, I think, right? Came up to the,
Yeah.
what, 3%? What, like 50 cent an hour raise, what percent that was on it?
I think it was,
We'll think about three,
I think it was about 3.
that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
About 3%. So if. Going by that and with the paper that Baker Tilly gave us, a 3% raise. Cost to the county would be about $3,000. Yes.
Yeah, essentially $100,000
$100,000 percent here. Yeah. And a 50-cent raise would increase everybody's pay by approximately $1,040. 50 cent an hour raise would cost the county. The expense would be about $300,000. And the employee would make a little over 1,000 before taxes. I think.
Tammy, is this the Baker Tilly? Okay, okay.
And then, Tammy, assuming this shows that, you know, we're at 89% versus we were just a little over 90 before we started this, but that still includes the requested raises
Correct.
that in reality might be less than what. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
this
makes
is still
sense.
everybody's
We were-
wish list.
We were 90.3 when we started, or 89.
Yeah, so we haven't affected, the moves that were made in the county general. On the landfill have not affected our total dollars.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And again, I'm appreciative of the thought that was put into this to get us to
Yeah.
here. I think everybody pitched in, so, you know, we talked a little bit about it. I would generally be in favor of 50% too. Yeah.
That's what I was,
Yeah,
that's what I was banking on, and obviously with the others.
go through the book and see if there's adjustments that need to be made.
So we just start with three.
If nobody else, I'll gladly take that motion. Else, good problem.
But the new guy on the block get all the heat.
One second.
That way,
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
350 cent an hour across the board.
Across the board,
Yeah.
You, second, that might.
So a motion from Matt, seconded by Heidi, to give a 50 cent per hour raise to all full, part-time, salaried and hourly employee. County. Is that right?
Yep.
Discussion. Just for clarification, this would not include board pay, correct? Because they are not hourly or they're kind of salary, but yet they're not. This would just be for all employees. Every pay matrix would be increased by 50 cents. Every level of the pay matrix. Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion to grant a 50 cent per hour raise to all hourly and salaried employees, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So. Tammy, we just want to start at the beginning of the book. That's the best way to do it.
Yes.
Clerk's office. So. But you didn't think about
Or, so I'll need in the minutes, it was the clerk, the treasurer, the auditor, and the assessor. I don't
They're
know
all
if you guys
based
are
on
just,
this.
right, if you're still going to do the 15, 10, 5% above the base on the decisions. I think it was put in to be that way, but we have new members, so.
Talked about. And it might have been just like. Individual conversation. I know we had one that. 2 or 3 years ago. Electeds all used,
We've got 2 years.
they were the same salary. And the council decided to, adjust those differently, maybe because of workload or whatever, so. The salary of the surveyor and. Order for the base, whatever that is, and then I don't remember, Tammy, it was.
The auditor gets 15% of the
Above
base
that.
above, the clerk and treasurer, the clerk and assessor was 10% and, treasurer was 5%.
Above what that base is, so do we want to follow that? Past, I mean, we don't have to, city council every year is different with that. Basically, how it's done, so if you leave the clerk's, salary at last year's plus 3%. All the other electeds are set off of that. Does that make sense?
Yep, I think that's actually,
Yeah, seems important.
Okay, so you want that in motion? So,
But I'll make the motion to keep the formula for it's elected officials, right?
correct.
The same. I need to read them all off, Tammy.
Or you can just put the same as 2025.
Same as 2025.
second that.
So I believe the motion by Matt, seconded by David, will be elected officials. Salaries will be based on the same formula as used in 2025.
No.
2025.
The 2025 budget. Any other discussion? All those in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So then the decision on, since the clerk is the first one and that's what they're based on, is there any action to be taken on adjusting that salary more than the 3%? Because it will get the general 3%. Just if we want to make an adjustment. These were adjusted separately 2 or 3 years ago. We bumped them up. I don't remember now, was it $4,000 or $5,000? Wasn't it that one time, and then to try to get them closer to some of the department heads hired. We did that once.
Is that to be honest, I got $1.60 raise a year. You really want to be launching that.
And let Trey decide, but I don't see any interest in them. So that will be our base. Clerk's salary of 2025 salary plus 3%. Auditor has requested that the deputies in her office be paid by a percentage of the elected pay. Haven't done that, but what's asked. Haven't done the math on that.
Over to their auditor's offices, just the workload that is done in the auditor's office. Their deputy pays are usually a little higher.
That's good for him.
I was just doing this. I heard that.
Well, nothing else that gets you thinking. And I come back to,
I just feel like you give the elected official that bump of the one off.
they do a lot of work, there's no doubt about that. I agree.
I don't know, saying you can't do that, and the other ones have got increases too.
Like, they want to do anything different than we have done in the past? In this place, anybody? Doesn't look like, ready to move on? Okay. All right, so there isn't anything else than your best budget, right? Treasurer. We didn't ask for. Order. You know, I was wrong, I was on, we said salary. Orders, not the clerks, but I guess it goes back to either way. We didn't change them, so.
Right again.
When I was talking earlier about electeds, I was, did I say recorder, did I say clerk?
I said recorder. Well, I know I said recorder and assessor.
Okay,
I mean.
so as long as we're on the same page,
Recorder
it is
and
based on
assessor.
orders.
Yeah.
But we didn't make any changes, so I
Yeah.
guess we're okay. Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Back on the recorders since we didn't do anything with the 1,000, we told the recorder she didn't need to come in, is $2,500 enough in overtime? Or part-time? Oh, and never mind. You only have $1,000 per time.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I'm sorry. Recorder. There's only $1,000 requested in part-time. Is that enough?
So I think the way, tell me if I'm wrong, long as you guys establish there's some money in the part-time in county general and in the salary ordinance, she also has the right that she can use her perpetuation. And then she can pay out of that and not have to touch county general, but we do at least have to have something in county general. And then she can have that at her own discretion, but just something has to be established in the county general. So,
Okay.
and I think that's what we've used before is your perpetuation, correct? Not until this now. Right, but as long as we have it established, then you have the okay to use your perpetuation, but you just. Correct, right, but that's why we keep it there for you, so you.
I just wanted to make sure we had enough there if you need part-time.
Things are settled down so far, but you know,
Who knows? Yeah. Okay. Sheriffs. Budget. The sheriffs did speak to us about. What that sheriff spoke to us about, feel free to jump in here. As well. Seems like I'm doing.
I'm sorry, I can't hear after what you're saying.
I'm
We're
sorry.
saying you spoke to us about deputy pay and corrections pay, what you'd like to see, and if you're having a hard time competing, sometimes it's close to the line for being non-competitive with joining counties. You may have stated it, but how's your staffing right now with road deputies and things that the sheriff's department were saying?
Just filled the one position we had over, still training right now.
Do you have other open positions or?
For merit deputies, no.
Okay.
Jail, right now I'm looking at 3. But I haven't been there yet at this point, so.
plus.
Right. Right.
That. Plus some.
Yes. Yeah. So, in less than 10%. Down the line, pretty much. We gave 3. So do we want to pump that more for deputies? That's basically the question.
That's 2%. What is beat deputies and corrections?
Well, we could do that when we get to that budget. But
This is just deputies.
yeah, let's say it's just sheriff's department.
I would entertain increasing the deputies' pay, sheriff's department pay by 2% in addition to the 3, so bring it up to 5 total, specifically for that department.
So deputy NCOs,
We'll get the COs.
Well, when we get to that budget, we'll. I don't want to be flipping back and forth and confuse it more. Is that a motion, David?
It is a motion.
Pop your vote, I'm ready. So I believe the motion is, David, seconded by Tom, a 2% additional raise for the sheriff's deputies. Is that includes the captain, I assume. That's a salaried position, but,
I would say, I mean, it's,
that's
that's how I say it.
Yes.
And I
Just wanted
can't
to
tell you with this salary, the way the state said it, that he wouldn't get a raise for 2025, just the standard, but the county can above, if I'm correct.
Who's that?
I'm sorry, what?
When they set out the rates for the judicial and yours is a percentage of the prosecutors, they didn't get a raise. So, but with you guys setting this, he will get the raise. It's due,
Which I didn't ask for it.
correct,
Mine's based on that percentage and there was nothing, so I didn't ask for it.
but they're giving it to you. That's what they were making. You'll get this in there.
I mean, that was my intention. Yeah. The motion on the floor is, David, is a 2% additional raise above the 3%, making a total of 5 for, the deputies, merit officers, including the captain, in the sheriff's budget. Correct. All employees in the sheriff's department.
Insurance.
That's most of the next question. Does that include the sheriff or not? Your motion, David.
Guidance here.
Just so we're all on the same page.
I would say no. I think he's more concerned about his staff and his workers than he is his own self. So I would say no.
Excluding sheriff.
Yes.
So I think that covers, looking down the list, that should cover everything. So a 2% additional raise for all sheriff's deputies, including captain, making a 5% total raise, and this excludes the sheriffs.
Sure.
The 2% increase is excluded from the sheriff. Yeah, correct. We clear on that? Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We good with that then, Tammy? Thank you. Questions from you? Correct. The sheriff will get the 3%, but not.
Right.
That's right. 1 Surveyor. I think there. Coroner.
You receive an update from him.
Yes, he, sorry. Looking at my brain, not my brain.
Yeah, it's okay. You got a good excuse.
He accidentally resubmitted the wrong budget, and his request for elected officials is 18,250. And I think he's wanting to increase, his deputy pay is right, and the fallout pay is right, it's just on his. He didn't increase it, but I think instead of a 250 call out, he wanted to do a 350 call out.
But leave the dollars the same in the budget.
Yes. Except for his. I think we did go ahead and bump him up with the raises last year to 17,1. And he put in as a request of 18,250. But everything else is the same. No, the coroner. Oh. You already passed the surveyor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just give it to her. No, she, yeah.
So
He'd be in that ballpark.
yeah, he's like the 3%. And personally, I'm fine with that. But he did. Would this be the appropriate time to address the call out? So we don't forget it.
Yes.
So in the, that the on-call dollars in the budget, is that what that is?
That's if PD doesn't go out,
And then call somebody,
then they call.
oh, I see.
Yeah, the call out is if his first deputy and himself are out, and then they have to, because there's training and they have to call somebody out, he's put in a dollar amount, so they could be on call. If I'm correct.
That's what the on-call.
It would also include the chief deputy.
That's what I said.
If anybody,
First deputy.
yeah,
That's
if
what the
anyone
call
other
out.
than,
Is this
Then Scott
on-call pay
covers
or
it.
pay, what you get called? Is this on-call pay for sitting there, or is it pay?
no, if there's an actual call,
Actually,
there's a flat
you're
rate.
on call as well.
It was implemented last year. I
I remember that now.
don't know if any of it actually got turned in on payroll or not, but it is available if he's gone for an extended amount of time. Then,
So in the budget, the line item 401 deputies, that is based on per call, is that correct?
right,
Correct.
And that's what has been $250 a call, and he's asking to raise that to $350. That makes sense, and then the on-call is, say you are a deputy and if the coroner's gonna be out of town and unavailable, there's a deputy that gets paid something, right, to be on call. Otherwise, they're not paid unless they get called. We agreed to it last year. That we have to this year. So the question is, do we want to raise the call out pay from $250? Well, he's requesting $350, I think. That's
Yes.
what you said.
Yep.
Or you guys. I know those can get really involved.
That's just the,
That's,
250 is just for the call out. If you called out, then you still get your regular rate from deputy on. Is that correct?
if you go to the call, it's a flat rate.
Oh,
So if you go and you handle, say, the transport, the return trip to the morgue and everything, it's all included. There's not a hourly rate for follow-up as far as report writing or anything. It's flat. If you take the call and you're responsible for seeing it through.
the only way the deputy reporters get paid is if they are on a call.
Right,
There is no wage for being a deputy coroner.
Right.
You only get paid for they call.
What is the potential impact of this? How many calls would this thing
I-
like there being
Yes,
here?
previously,
I asked to increase the deputy pay from $250 to $350 with them handling up to 18 calls.
I don't know that he's ever exceeded
I.
ten, like as far as them being.
I mean, Scott usually handles most, but there is an occasion that he just can't, or there could be two at a time or something, and
Potentially.
yes.
There's only 18 calls out here. And it's, bump that up. 350, it's 6,300.
That's what he's requesting.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to increase that call out pay to 350 from 250.
Second that.
Would that also would make your motion to, approve the requested amount in that line item then? Yeah. Well, increase that one. Motion from Mick, seconded by David, to increase the call out pay for the deputies in coroner's 07 county general budget from $250 per call to $350 per call, and approve the request in that line item of $6,300. Is that correct? Yep, that's correct. Discussion? All those.
I can understand. Yes, sir, same.
All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Opposed? And Heidi has abstained, did not vote. So is there anything else in that budget needs to be looked at? I don't think.
No,
there
the
is.
rest of his numbers were accurate.
Correct that. That deduction in pay. Because that was, remember that was listed. Yeah.
Transferred over his 24 budget.
Yeah.
That's why it looked like a reduction.
want to make sure. He'll get the 3% increase. Yeah. Assessor. Is there now the 3 full-time in there?
Yes,
Is that in the budget?
yes. The other one is out of reassessment.
Oh, okay. There was an increase, a request for overtime that we would need to take action on. They said she requested an increase in overtime that if we don't take action on, will not be granted.
I don't see an
Oh,
increase. in
It's holiday pay, I'm sorry.
Holiday is because there will be 15 next year. Instead of 13.
Because they're like,
There will be 15 holidays next year instead of 13. It's an election year.
so we need to take action on that line if nothing else, is that correct, Tammy?
I think
Or-
you'll just do it at the end.
Or we can, what we have also done, and as we get through the book, at the end, we grant authority to the auditor to make any adjustments that need to be made to meet holiday pay,
Okay.
FICA, all those things. If you guys are comfortable with that, we don't have to do that.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, we're good. Move things along.
Yeah.
So that'll get taken care of. I mean, we could actually make that motion now, right?
So move.
Second. So your motion is to authorize the auditor to make any adjustments at the end of the budget for holiday pay. Like, what else do we need?
Or
For
OT.
overtime? Is that what your motion is though? Thought so.
We're trying now.
Yeah. Good with that, Nick? Yeah. Yes. Discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. So let's. Unless you want to make a special adjustment in a salary there, we'll move on. Registration has been. Extension. There was discussion there, the request. Increase the deputy pay more than the others. Anybody interested? One.
First deputy tonight. Correct. Do extension.
Yeah. Correct. So right now, those salaries, the 2 salaries in there is the,
Her full-time is out of county general and well, we moved the part-time also to county general.
Yeah, we moved all this to
county general.
So the part-time will fall in part-time others, and then they have the one full-time as the full-time deputy. And they were asking for a 5%.
I don't see it, hear any motions to do anything with that budget. Move on. Veteran Service Officer,
So that one we have always kept the amount in case they had a full-time. But the current one is being paid at a part-time. It's like, we figured out so many hours and. But we've left a full-time.
interest for change. Council. Currently, as per the motion that was made, council would be receiving a 3% raise.
Make a motion and not increase that.
Second. So your motion is to keep council
Same.
salaries the same as 2025.
Yes.
Which I guess is what we requested. Motion by Heidi, seconded by Matt to keep the council salaries the same as 2025.
Oh, 3%.
No 3%. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Election. Did we do, we did that, the entire budget when we did
Higher
that.
thing.
You asked on the election.
So we left it the same. Drainage board. Didn't request a raise. Compensation, well, compensation of board, there, that's a flat fee, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
$300. We've made all four.
I think anything there needs to be changed, does it? Definitely.
Peterborough is this. Or she has her own rates.
Board of review.
So on Peterborough, are you gonna give them the 3%? I mean, she does it as a flat rate per meeting.
They're not, they're different than the other boards.
If you have a level 2 or a level 3 certification, you get paid $220 per meeting. If you're just a member, you get $100 per meeting.
I mean, I don't think the motion that was
Is it
made
reports?
would
Okay.
have affected, because they're not a full-time
You're right.
hourly or salaried employee.
Correct. But how is what, Tom?
My question was answered.
So, I mean, the question just comes if you want to raise that. She didn't request.
No, she didn't.
She didn't request any more money, so. I would
I
say-
forgot it's a board.
Commissioner. So right now, we're currently, secretary's part-time, right, Steve?
So we still request it for the fall.
Yeah, I see that, which is, I don't care.
Just keep the line item there, but
Yeah. I mean, it's listed as secretary, we just have. We do need to address probably the insurance
The health insurance line.
in this budget. Up at the top end,
I assume those insurance ones are just the premiums are going up. Abby, for the,
Joey, probably the best man for that.
Well, the health insurance, Tammy. That would be her.
okay,
It just comes out of our,
so what happens, Matt, is we never know at budget
budget
time
time, what it's gonna
what the
be,
premiums are gonna be.
okay.
And so they,
So what happens is when we figure out, you have 4,700 as a self-insured fund, we budget so much in there. But then out of any tax-based, these departments that have health insurance, we take a premium from each one of those. But it gets moved into the 4,700, that's what keeps that whole thing funded.
so let's start at the top of the budget sheet where we have the life insurance and short-term disability. Both of those are probably just
Those
premiums
are
that
paid 100% through the commissioners, the employees do not.
contribute to that, and those I assume are premium increases. Are those known or are those estimates? Ken?
Both of those, I think, were an increase last year, but holding for this year. But when we done the budget, we didn't know what it was.
Right.
So that's why the increase.
So both do we need the increase?
Yes,
I'll make a motion to approve the line item 0, life insurance. Maybe the life and short-term disability is some.
A second,
Okay, I heard that. Motion by Tom, second by Mick to approve the 2201, 2202, 2203 line items and commissioners county general budget as requested. Is that correct? Yep. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. So that's you, elected officials, since you do 3% raise. Yeah, well, they don't want to do. Right now, they've got a 3% raise, which I think.
Yeah, I mean, we agree, we don't need a raise for us.
no,
I'll make a
Whatever you
motion,
want.
okay.
I'll make a motion to,
Bump that.
not give 3% raise to the county commissioners.
Second,
I heard that you can take the seat. Motion from David, seconded by Mick to keep commissioners' salaries same as 2025, is that right? Correct. Discussion? All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Secretary line item has been taken care of, unless you want to make an adjustment.
we need to do something on the health insurance line, 17,
200.
200.
Yeah, I think we're good until we get down to that.
I'll make a motion to accept line 17,200 health insurance for the 2026 budget as requested.
Would you want to include 17,201 in that same motion? The next line. down.
Yes, yep. 17,200 or 117, 200, 201.
Second. Not yet.
I'm sorry.
Wait for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Mick did? Yeah. I will. Motion by Matt, seconded by Mick to approve line items 17,200, 17,201 health insurance and health insurance HRA reimbursement in the Commissioner's County General budget as requested. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. I think we're good then, aren't we? We good in that budget, Tammy?
Yep.
Struggling down here, I just felt.
Are you awake?
I am, barely.
Your call, Jeff.
I think we're good. I think that covers everything. County plan. Building commissioner. Are making an adjustment there. Compensation of board with $100. Thing there anybody wants to do? Go on. Nothing in the courthouse, but. Superior Court. Supposed to be,
I didn't know, I remember the church tried to get it, said, I'm recording.
it did, so,
Okay.
And this, I think it was just the bailiff.
I don't remember that conversation.
Judge said that he left it in our hands, he felt like we'd be able to take care of things, that'd be good. Yeah.
But they will give you an explanation of the other position with 2 part-time positions.
And,
So the
yeah,
hour,
what was that? The dollars were different between the courts.
is making less hourly, although it's receiving benefits.
Currently, the part-time on the other side, not including the raise for 2025 is 24.875. And the other bailiff, even though he gets benefits, is making 41.105 per hour. I think he was requesting it to be a little more comparable, and I think if I took the amount that he was requesting and divided by the hours that they worked, it was $23, 2.15
Plus benefits.
plus benefits. But you gave the 50 cents, so. I actually did pay attention right now.
I did find those. So, is there any interest? Making an adjustment? Hearing. We need to. Take action on. Witness fees. No, he requested 0, so we don't have 0 that out. But on, comp time payout, we'll take action.
But as far as the bailiff, it's definitely similar. Yeah, that-
Quite good. Nobody made motions.
I'll make a motion for the bailiff salary to have an addition to the 3% to do an additional 2% increase, like David's previous motion.
Was that line item 11,902, that one?
Yes.
Yes,
To do an additional,
additional 2% above the 3% that's across the board.
It's just one specific
Or just this line item?
line item.
Yes.
I'll second.
Motion from Heidi, seconded Tom to increase the bailiff pay 11,902 in the Superior Court, an additional 2%. Is that correct? Making a total of 5%.
Yes.
Discussion? Would. No. What would that make it then? I don't know.
Want a total?
Sorry.
So he was requesting, 6.78.
Just wanna know what the difference is for the total.
So he requested a 6.78%. Make it a 5.
If we had an hourly rate. That we was requested.
And it was that, instead of that.
We need to address, content, yeah.
At some point, gotta do this one first, that motion. Yes.
Something like 92 cents.
That's pretty close. Finish the budget, or finish the budget. Any other discussion? We'll vote on the motion. To increase the bailiff 11,902 Superior Court budget an additional 2% above the 3%, again, total of 5. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, aye. 5-1. Passed. The other thing in this budget that needs to be addressed is comp time payout. Requested an increase of 4,450. I'll make a motion to approve that time payout, 19,901 line number. Second. Motion by Mick, seconded by David to approve as requested the line item 19,901 comp time payout in Superior Court County General Budget. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We're gonna take a probably 10-minute recess. Be back in a few moments. We will reconvene the budget workshop. We're at Circuit Court, 1,000 category. You need to
Which one are we
decide.
looking at now?
Circuit Court, 232. Anybody have any thing there they wanna address? Go once, go twice.
So the 11,306 will automatically go up to the 3%, right?
Yes.
And 2.83.
Yep, it'll go free. Then move on, probation.
So I will ask on this, I know you guys put in the motion, the state sets theirs, are they going to get 3% on top of this? We already paid them $500 more. Are you guys going to include the 3%?
I would say no. Plus, it's reasonable, should.
It's up to your guys' discretion. The state sets a minimum that we have to pay them. It is your guys' if you want to pay them more. I know last year we did bump them $2,500 more.
And that's already included in this.
Yes, that is. But when you guys done the 3%, I didn't think about this one until we just came across it. Did you?
I don't remember that, but last year we bumped all
All three of
of,
them.
all three. Oh, yeah, I do.
Because
Yeah,
one
I do.
actually did.
Yeah, I do, yeah, I do remember that.
Because why-
Yes, I
We
did.
can draw you a big picture. of
Tammy, what was the rationale?
Huh?
What was the rationale? Why we did it last year? You started to explain.
Because their caseload,
Okay,
that was one of the main reasons.
there's no reason to believe it's increased year over year, and we've met that threshold of the increase caseload with $2,500 increase.
So I believe they are county employees, correct?
Yes.
The motion that was made would include them. But the question is, do we want to exclude them from that motion?
Well, I was thinking that they were not county employees when I was questioning that.
Yeah, they are county employees.
They
The
are-
state just.
They are county employees, other than we are mandated a minimum amount of salary they are to receive.
Not this year.
Which
Or not for
We're
25.
well above that minimum.
we are, well, a little above evidently, 2,500, because I think always before we were at the, they were always paid the minimum before, right?
Yes,
Until last year.
there was some other times we did increase in that fee based. But
Used
then you,
fee-based.
when they ran that money out, then they brought it back, but you
Back
still
down.
always have to pay the minimum what the state tells you.
Which is really a higher salary scale than what we traditionally are here. But we did increase it last year. So, unless action is taken, they will, I believe, receive the 3% rate. I don't hear anything, we're gonna move on. So they will receive them for clarification. Nothing in public defender. Maintenance. Desire to make adjustments there? Recommendations from the commissioners?
So it's the same, you're just, they're gonna get the same 3% that everybody else gets.
Including the supervisor. Including the supervisor.
Yes.
Well, yeah, his would be based on the 2,080 hours, because he's not out. Any changes? Move on. See, that's done. Emergency management. So in this budget, like the bike and all that wasn't even included, that you'll make those adjustments, correct?
It's out of county general, so there is, that all goes underneath the commissioner, so I will have to gather
And all
every
of it.
total out of county general and figure it from there.
Currently, we have the director and a full-time assistant, correct? Correct.
That's staying the same, Steve.
I believe so.
The assistant position has been discussed over the years of whether it needed to be a full-time position or part-time. Anybody want to have any discussion about that?
I thought we did. And we pretty much hit a brick wall.
That's what I tried to figure out if we had a resolution to that.
I think we said we're gonna have a resolution today.
Or that, would full-time go part-time position?
Make the assistant a part-time position.
I'll make that motion.
You would?
Yeah.
I'll second it.
That was Matt.
You gonna give Matt 3%, even though we didn't request it?
Yes.
Yes.
It was in the-
Yeah, we will get there. We have a motion from Mick, seconded by Matt, to make the assistant line item 11,303 in emergency management 361 county general budget, a part-time position.
This would be.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Discussion? So I'm kind of assuming here that would just fall into the general pay matrix, the part-time.
Unless he comes back with something different.
And we would need to set the number of hours, is that correct?
Usually
Or
part-time is
Part-time, we
30.
don't, we just ask them to.
We request
work over
28 just in case, but they're 20 to 30
28.
per week.
And the request of the dollars in that line item would stay the same at 40,200.
I would suppose because they're making call outs, so that would cover that in case there was a call out, right?
And they can also have more than one part-time person. Once you set a part-time, then you have a full dollar
Yeah, the
amount.
hours
you
there,
can
we're
put
not
10,
telling
just
how many
long as it doesn't
part-time
go over.
employees, right?
But the dollar amount would stay the same, yeah.
Which in reality then with part-time help, there would probably not be a need for overtime.
Sure, it's a little down there.
You still could, because if your director is gone for a whole week and that person needs to work and there's a catastrophe, they could be over 40 hours in 1 week, so you would still need to
Oh, yeah,
overtime. Yeah. Just because someone has part-time, you still should always leave some overtime if you can't predict.
Yeah, and it's only 2,500, so.
Yeah. Any other questions, discussion?
I don't know if this is gonna be relative, or if, this would have to wait for the holiday pay line, is that gonna have to?
That was zeroed out anyway.
And we've authorized the auditor to make that adjustment. Any other questions or discussion? The motion is to make the assistant position in EMA a part-time position. All those in favor of that motion say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Anything else in that 1,000 category? I don't see. And for clarification, that will not become a part-time position until January 1 of 2026.
Yeah.
Not effective today. It's for the next year's budget. Jail. Sheriff, on your budget request here, you had, they have pretty much the same request that raised 10% all the way down. Assistant receptionist, secretary, all the way through.
There's a couple of them that are higher.
A little bit.
2 years ago. 2 years ago, we made the matron, jail commander, administrative assistant, all the same hourly rate.
That will, good with that, that has that.
So whatever's done today, as long as hourly,
Consistent.
yeah, it stays the same, those three positions all have the same hour.
Do you perceive any need to adjust into this beyond 3%?
Well. No, I don't. Don't, and the jump big deal for that wage. So I.
Why,
Just looking at comparisons, right? See it, what's happened over the last 5 years for increases.
when we made that adjustment a few years ago, that was just those 2 or 3 specific lines, correct?
Right, those three positions all,
They used to be
there was a difference, but the responsibilities are equal in different categories, so you made the, which I think definitely is the right thing to do, make those three positions have the same hourly rate.
Research.
I'm looking something up.
While he's looking that up, do we need to take separate action on 15-100 line item for training?
We do.
Okay. So I make a motion to accept line item 15-100 for training. As requested. For the 0380 jail budget.
Motion by Matt, second by Nick to approve line item 1501 in the 380 jail county general budget as requested. One increase of 1,055. Discussion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed. Motion carried. Probably the next line too, overtime would need to be addressed individually. Well, actually, gave you the overtime one. Okay. Holiday pay, sick pay,
Yeah, holiday pay FICA for OT.
Okay. Don't make any other changes?
I will move to increase the salaries, 3% plus 2. As we did with the sheriffs.
I'll second.
On the entire budget?
Yeah.
You seconded that, David?
I did.
Motion from Tom, second by David to do an additional 2% increase of above the 50 cents that was given. We said 3%, but it was above the 50 cents.
Correct.
That was given earlier to all the line items in the 380 jail county general budget. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So we're good with the overtime. You're gonna, even though that's a dollar request. Increase.
Local are all. Some are, I'll work with Bobby to make sure that they haven't been covered.
Guys good with
The
that?
overtime is still based on each line and, I mean, third is a little harder to figure because it's 171 hours and 28 days, but then if they work a holiday or not.
Animal control. What? Okay, everybody done with the Chair, I think. Yeah. Animal control. So was this a landfill budget before? Is that why we don't have the,
You'll have to go back.
so are these increases from before or, is everything the same as last year?
Are they responsible?
The
for
only
the
thing we're asking
policies?
for an increase really would be on the call out. For 25, they budgeted 4,100 and they're asking for 4,500. But then they've done a decrease.
It's okay. I didn't know when.
One of the
Building commissioners office was still up to date.
decrease.
I don't know, I don't think so, but it's a good question.
And then I did do an increase on part-time help of. And what you guys gave them more, originally, we only budgeted 25 or 15,000, but you did
They couldn't
increase it.
for an additional.
Mhm. So they're asking for.
So their total budget has changed a lot.
Right.
What is their call out pay?
So the call out pay is whatever we determine the first deputy pay is. Times time and a half, times 2 hour minimum.
Sounds complicated. So it actually got increased because first deputy pay got increased. Yeah. Okay. Heidi had a question. Is the building department involved at all with animal control anymore?
As far as budgeting, very little, but I know it's like $61 and some odd cents, I think, for a call out as far as go out for apparatus and such like that.
Which will increase a little if first deputy's pay is going to increase, but not substantial. But you guys are still doing some of the paperwork.
Yeah.
Is your staff involved in the call outs too?
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, some of the calls I do, I just go out and do it and I don't charge accounts. I know the fact that with budget and stuff, but
No, thank you. You're doing it though, you ought to get paid.
I would make a motion to approve it as requested.
Thank you. There a second? Second. Motion from Heidi, seconded by David to approve the 1,000 category as requested. I guess I'm assuming here, except for the assistant, which would fall with the normal raise. Because they didn't ask for a raise. Very clear on that? Motion is 1,000 category as requested. Caveat to that would be the assistant would still get the raise. They didn't request a raise, but they would fall under the request. Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Prosecutor. General budget 660. These are 35-hour-a-week employees.
Where are we at?
Prosecutor, 660.
Oh, they're 35, yes, you're absolutely correct.
Yes, you talked about that.
So the
Part-time.
elected official and the chief deputy, theirs cannot raise over the 5,000. They get paid by the state and all you guys can do is supplement, so that won't change. But you have the part-time deputy prosecutor. You have the admin assistant, the investigator, 2 investigators and the 2 clerks.
So the request was on what's in our budget line item. 11109, the 20,000 more, that was for the
Part-time deputy.
part-time deputy that isn't funded by the state.
There's only two that are funded by the state.
So they'd have a total of 3?
They do have it.
Oh,
Prosecutor, deputy prosecutor, second.
And the first two of those three, their salaries are paid by the state, except for the $5,000 stipend we give them, which is the most that's allowed. That's completely our choice. That can be taken away, it can be whatever, we can't go above 5,000.
so there are 2 other salaries that are contributing to the current 35,000, or there's 2 people sharing that?
Yeah.
No, it is one.
So the very first line is your elected prosecutor. The next line is your part-time deputy prosecutor.
Okay,
The third line is the chief prosecutor. Or chief deputy prosecutor, which is paid by the state. So that's why the first and the third are only 5,000. They cannot have any longevity. They can't have anything. It's just that flat stipend that the county as a canner doesn't have to give.
so the increase on the 11109, that person is still part-time?
Correct.
Yeah, so I have in my notes when she was here that, the reason to ask for the 20K increase is the expectations of the role of increase, and they're currently working about 15 to 20 hours a week. 6 to 8 cases handling Benton County and 8 to 10 in Jasper County for that back and forth thing. That's what I have in my notes.
So our elected prosecutor has chosen to be part-time. That was choice.
Okay.
The chief, is that the right term? It is full-time. And the third one is part.
So that 20,000 increase, that's just adding to the third. Is that 20,000 to that person or just that? In that category, we add 20,000 in case they work more? Is that the way?
No, it's a salary.
It is $20,000 increase.
It's not hourly, it's a salary.
Truly, they are hourly. We calculate them and keep them at a salary due to comp time and everything else. But really, the judicial system, everybody is hourly. We do create a salary and it's just due to comp time. But we still have an hourly base on it.
So that,
And they are like.
judicial. So it, this third position that asked for the increase, they may not, if they don't get enough cases, they won't draw that whole salary. I thought it was a salary, no matter.
It is a salary.
It's a salary, whether they, however many cases they get. Right.
Whether it's
Yeah.
one or 100.
Right. Yeah, I think so.
And right now,
For
it's just-
comp time,
But the demand is up
Yeah.
currently.
they have to keep track of hours, but it's hours that they're gonna get either way.
I don't know if demand is up. I didn't ask that question when she was here.
I think she said it was when I said it, but pretty sure she said it.
Yeah, I think she's included, but part of that was because of going out of county for special prosecutor things too, which, I mean, they don't have control about that. Again, I think we've been receiving some special prosecutor in the county because of a new judge. Has been in that role before. So that's probably a trade-off.
I do think that also will. For the next 12 to 18 months, that'll unwind itself too. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm sure, yeah. Motion? I don't hear any motions that will
If we don't,
stay the same as,
would that be subjected to the 3% increase if we don't?
they are elected or salaried. So I would think. So how do you calculate that, Tammy? Do they? In the past, when we gave a 50-cent raise, did they get the 50-cent raise as well?
But only based on 35 hours.
35 hours for the, even the prosecutor, the third prosecutor.
Yes.
We can do anything? He is, or he's thinking, do we need to address the comp time payout, Tammy? Because that was a request that wasn't in the budget last year.
Correct, they just have asked. Because they have a right, when we figure their comp time, we figure it as hours, not their rate. So anything over 7 hours. And once they hit 40, then they get time and a half, so we just figure it in that way at any time, because they've worked it. They can technically take it as cash, I mean,
Well, we had to,
and there is time.
there was an additional this year, wasn't there?
Correct, because they were
In this
hitting,
budget.
the law states that we can only hold 240 hours of comp time on the books. Soon as you hit that, you have to pay them out. Can't run an account or an account number in the negative, so they're just putting it in
I mean,
in case.
I hate to do that line item.
I think they got most of them worked down, but they do have several trials coming up and they could exceed that.
I make the motion to accept line 19901 comp time payout in 660 prosecutor budget as requested.
Second.
Motion from Matt, second by David to approve the 19901 line item in prosecutors 660 county general budget as requested. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. So you want to do any? So if we don't take any further action,
That's what the increase would be.
right? The third prosecutor would remain at last year's salary with the 3% or 50-cent an hour
Linda. I need to ask you a question. I just don't know exactly what it is yet.
increase.
Okay. Get me worried, though.
Can circle back to this.
Has there been times in the past that, deputy prosecutors is working more than 1 day a week?
I can't answer that because I'm not part of that office.
What you've seen in court calls?
So typically, Becky covers Monday's criminal call. Or prosecutor takes Monday's call, Wednesday's the chief deputy, criminal call and juvenile call. And then the third deputy, Fridays, criminal and infraction call. But they all review the reports that come in and file charges. They do trials.
if the prosecutor, for whatever reason, is unavailable for the Monday criminal call, then either the chief deputy or the deputy covers that call. So they cover for each other. And not just one person reviews the police reports and files charges, they all do. And then they all do trials as well.
Thank you.
I guess to me, it kind of comes down to, are we at the salary increase being asked for because our third deputy is having to do more work because our prosecutors less is part-time rather than full-time? I don't have an answer to that, but to me, in my mind, I wonder that.
I do too, but if they're dumping on them,
They ought to be compensated
That's
for it.
not his fault.
so with that being the case, I'm gonna make a motion to decrease the requested $20,000 in line item 11109. $20,000 to $10,000.
Second.
Motion, Tom, seconded by David to make the line item 11109 in prosecutors 660, county general budget 10,000. We'll make the requested 45,000 instead of 55, correct? Is that right, Tom?
Yes.
Motion by Tom, second by David to set line item 11109 in the 660 prosecutors county general budget at $45,000. Discussion? All those in favor of that motion say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be addressed in there, is there? Doesn't look like. SWCD. Stormwater.
We have a revised paper for that.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it printed or can we get it email? We got it.
By email.
Yes.
I mean, I can print it for you guys. I can print it.
Anybody want to, is there anything else in there that needs to be addressed besides the request for a bigger raise for the?
Very good.
You don't see it?
That doesn't. I hear, because that was.
David's turn.
Right.
Maybe we just thought I'd get a printed copy.
I am somewhere in the breaker.
Want to take a break for a moment while we do that?
Yeah.
Let's recess for 5 minutes while we get a printed copy of that.
Oh, I'm printing.
Tammy's printed.
It'll be over in the commissioner's office.
Hold on, I haven't stopped the shooting.
No, it's fine. Fine.
these items in this plan, either.
No, that's.
Okay. We will, restart the budget workshop. We are on, county general budget 750 soil and water conservation district. We've got our spreadsheets here to clarify the salaries, wages of, the two positions in 2025. So currently, the first line, the educator, is without the increase that was granted earlier today, is that, what'd you say, 18?
18.183.
That's the hourly rate. First deputy's pay before the increase today was
20.481.
How much?
20.481.
Now, that's their base.
That's
That's
the
not
base.
including any 1, 2, or 3, or 4, 5% pay increase.
Right, which, I mean, in this particular case, she's a newer employee, would still probably be, but yes. And then the next position, the director, is a salaried position that when it started was based on first deputy pay, but got bumped a little a year or two ago above that. As being a salaried director. Currently, both of those positions would fall under the motion to get grant the 50 cent an hour in the director educators line item. That would amount to $1,040 because it means salaried. The other position would just be a 50 cent an hour raise on whatever hours they work.
What is the request for 26 for the director pay? Is it the?
53 to
Okay,
no, she's.
okay, that's what I was. Would the proposed amount be similar to a department head salary?
It's probably lower. You mean at the 53?
Yes.
It would be.
Most of them are at like 60.
Most of them are above that.
So her request is below a department head.
Everybody looks like they're really thinking about this.
Okay, so. Suggestion is to give the educator first deputy's pay.
She's above that. The director is above first. deputy.
Well, not the director, the
Okay.
educator.
The educator, I'm so, okay.
Bring her up to first deputy pay.
Okay.
And then accept the request on the director
As requested,
as requested.
the 53 too.
Yeah,
Is that a motion?
that is a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion from Mick, seconded by Heidi, to make line item 11205 educator in soil and water 750 county general budget. Set that salary at first deputy pay. And line item 11304 SWCD executive director / educator. Salary would be set at as requested, which is 53,240. Is that correct?
Yep.
Got that, Tammy?
Yes.
Discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's great. Uh. Step ahead. Remember what we have based this on in the past.
This one, she only works 20 hours a week. We have it up for Stephanie pay.
At 20 hours. So
Anything with the pay matrix.
with pay benefits. You guys good with that? Okay. 911 communications, county budget 903. Got 2 or 3 salaries in the other budget, right?
Three, total, three.
The base pay and all those is the same, the difference would be where they are in the matrix when you look. at
Yes,
some of it.
We'll get back on, crew leader training.
We do.
Make a motion to accept 915-902 into 903 E911 budget for crew leader training. As requested.
Second.
Motion from Matt, second David to approve as requested line 15902 in the 093 U911 county general budget. I said as requested. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Make any adjustments on the, other than the 50 cents that was given earlier?
I got a question on that.
Sure.
Tammy, do correct me wrong. Last year, we changed my part-time budget, my part-time salaries were made the same as the jail staff. With the changes that were made to the jail staff today, will mine also be reflected that way?
Yeah, it was already set.
That was on part-time.
You know, that was part-time, the only part-time we made that adjustment.
So not everybody might be aware of that. So say it again, so we're all,
So, last year, the decision was made because of this discrepancy in the part-time budget. My part-time budget is now the same as the jail staff. So my part-time was now, well, now it's different. Unless that's what I'm asking, is we can make this.
I think Tammy,
If we corrected that with salary ordinance.
but now we've given the part-time in the jail an
The
addition of
2%,
3%.
right, that's what I'm asking, is that the same?
2%, I mean. So I think your question was, does that carry?
Right, that's what I'm asking, yes.
That's a good question.
Because my part-time is, my other employees are not the same as the jail, but part-time is.
But if you look at salary ordinance, we put you in, we're the same.
Okay,
We adjusted it, so
Okay.
it's already in the salary ordinance, so
That-
they'll get the 50 cents, but they're already, your part-time
Well-
already set up with the same as. them.
Will they get the additional?
2%.
2% that we
Yeah.
added in to it?
that's where my question was.
Because we
Where you
grant,
do you did that on the hourlies, you didn't do it on part-time.
I
Unless
thought
you
we made
guys,
that motion for the entire budget. Yeah, I thought so.
okay,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have taken it that way, so I would have been calling you different.
Well, and maybe, I don't know if that was,
Yeah, the motion was made across the board.
But I look at those as hourly and the part-time has a whole different pay scale than the hourly, so that's, I would have questioned you guys.
Yeah, but it
Do we need to clarify that?
Yes, you do, because I would not have done it that way.
higher sheriff's office other than the sheriff.
The sheriff doesn't have part-time.
This was correct.
This is jail.
But, well, yeah, but I mean, what we did was the entire staff in the sheriff's, but other than the sheriff.
The sheriff is a whole different, we're
Not in
going
the
back to
sheriff's
just the
station.
jail. The
Jail.
jail has part-time.
Oh, I see what.
And you guys done that. I would not have included the part-time because the part-time has a whole different sliding scale. And they get raises every year of completing work.
Now, the motion was actually as requested, the across the board was sheriff's increase.
Yeah.
But the jail was as requested.
And what was requested?
The motion was to increase the jail. The 3% plus 2%. And there wasn't any indication as to, the part-time being included in that. With the assumption. That's how I took it, would have been all the salary or all of the pay.
Including the part-time.
So it didn't exclude any pay category, it's all inclusive.
Yeah, there was no exclusion.
Okay. And it's just because the salary ordinance is set up differently. We have the hourly and salary, and if you go and look at the end. Part-time is set to, I would have questioned you guys going through, so that would have been something brought back. We can clarify that right now.
Right, that's the reason I was asking for a kind of.
Yeah, the intention was.
to do.
But
Yeah, to include the part-time as well.
I don't think we should, they said further actions.
Wasn't Shana asking for 10%?
The motion on the jail was the 3% that they already gave, and then they gave plus 2% is the 5%.
What number is that budget?
380. In county them. I don't think it was, I don't have it as requested.
No, I don't remember. Just the one line item, the training.
Yeah.
We did as requested. The rest of it I have written down, just an additional 2% in the entire budget,
Yeah, that's what I've got.
which to me would include part-time.
Oh, no. I've got from the assistant to corrections officer marked, but not part-time on that.
And not the part-time deputy.
Yeah, not the part-time. It
I
goes
don't have it in my notes, but I.
11.
Well, I don't think,
Salary out
I don't think we
ordinances,
talked
we
about
have
it. I
it
think it's
separate.
just how everybody, so I think it's a good thing we got to this point.
From the 11,303 to the 14,707 is what I have marked and not the part-time on down below.
So Tammy, what's the reason to not do it? Why did you think we wouldn't do it?
Cause a part-time already has a sliding scale all the time. They don't have a pay, they have a pay matrix, but it's different. They,
So it'd be easier just to leave it as it is with the presumption that it only included the full-time rates.
That's what.
trying to get there.
For the sheriff's
No,
Just
I mean, this jail.
Yeah,
Shannon left here thinking it's different, probably.
yeah. And I don't remember why, but I have it.
So when we start out the jail part-time, they're gonna get the 50 cents. So every year they are gaining a little bit of. So your first 5 years, you keep increasing, and then 6 to 10, you stay at the same pay scale, 11 to 15, the same pay scale, 16 to 20, the same pay scale. I would have just added the 50 cents on that. I would not have done the additional 2%. I wouldn't have done a whole 5%.
So what's the pleasure of the council?
Well, it was my impression in seconding the motion that it was across the board for part-time and full-time.
What was your
See how you
intent?
can interpret it both ways.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why we need to clarify. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
That's
asked.
the reason I asked.
What was your intent on the motion?
Well, my intent was across the board.
Including the.
Including part-time.
Okay.
My support was for across the board, including part-time. That was my way I understood it.
I'm okay with
Okay, so I think
I'm okay with that.
clarify. I mean,
I put in my notes,
do we need to, I don't know as we have,
you probably, cause that, I would just clarify it and make it a motion. And if you're gonna
So-
do it for the jail,
To make it clear.
well, I don't know what you're gonna do with 911 stuff.
So my motion is to clarify my previous motion. of approving the increase in the jail from 3% to 2%, including if you want it in detail,
Or just put the entire 1,000 category, that is an hourly rate.
thank you.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
So your motion is, in the 380 jail budget to clarify that the previous motion included the entire 1,000 category in that budget. Is
Yes.
that correct, Dan? Does that make sense? Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
I'm sorry,
carried.
second.
David? David. It's okay. So now let's get back to, where are we at? 911.
Section 903, which is, I don't know, 903.
I lost the. 903.
Platform goals before the college.
Yep, there we go. And we have taken action on the crew leader training. And Jim's question is, does his part-time communications, because it was based on jail
Yes.
part-time, does it receive both? And I don't know, is that when we did that last year, did we permanently link those or did we just make it? I mean, we made a motion, I would guess that it.
I think it was to mirror the jail
Be
for
the same, as-
25.
so question is that still in effect? That was last year. I mean, if there's a question, we want it to be, I would make that, you know, if we don't, we need to clarify.
But its own separate chart from the jail, so it
It
is.
is its
split
own,
up.
correct. We just, I'm guessing that we just made it to be the same as that
Yeah.
last year. Is that our wishes again this year? And then what does that do? I'm guessing, how does that then compare to if we? Your full-time communications people are receiving the 50 cents an hour raise. Correct. If the others were to get the 50 cents and the additional 2%.
Part-time is still significantly less.
it's
Say
still
again.
significant.
Part-time is still significantly less.
It's not opening up a can of worms, probably. Okay.
It actually helps me out because my part-time is lower. It's hard to get part-time coming in because my rate is so low, right? I mean, we're lower than our full-time rates.
So I would probably
So do we-
entertain a motion
So
to,
all
For
of
what?
your in county general, all of them have a base rate of 20.381, and if he's bringing in someone off the street new, they're coming in, that's this year's rate.
Right.
They are coming in at 19.63. No. Yes,
For part-time?
part-time.
Part-time left was 1895. For the first year.
19.63. I have that for the jail and for you.
You don't get any back pay.
No,
Unless I'm wrong.
no, because whatever rate she's got is.
that's what she's getting paid by.
Right, yeah, it's going by that salary ordinance.
And you would request that your part-time be the same
That would be the only thing that I would propose. Keep those the same.
as the jail.
Part-time.
Yes.
So line 17802
Yeah, we're starting to
in
mention-
911.
I couldn't remember what those are.
911.
Right.
So that makes sense, because, we got the 65 cents.
I'll make that.
1895 is for.
Keep line 17802, 911. Same pay increases we approved for part-time in jail.
Second.
Motion by Matt, seconded by David to keep the part-time communications, which is line 17,802 in the 903E 911 budget, the same as the part-time jail. Is that correct?
Yes.
I don't know what that line item is, but in the jail budget. Discussion?
API data.
David, second. No other discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Good with that?
Yeah.
Do you have part-time in the other budget or?
No, all my part-time budgets is 1,000.
So when we get to that, we're there.
Correct.
Thank you, Jane. Anything else in this budget that needs to be addressed?
You have one of them for us.
I hope to be out of there. We done with that budget? I think. How many more do we have? Salaries, we gotta get to it. We gotta go to highway. Action.
Jump around highway since she's here.
Well, I think we're gonna get there pretty quick.
I mean, if you want to skip the highway from here, because it would be handy. She has chip and seal to do.
Okay, we can.
They've got it covered right now.
Don't say that you
Yeah,
just
gotta
hate yourself.
Phone call, so.
You wanna do that, and get highway out of the way?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, put your numbers on
I
it.
shouldn't say it quite that way out of the way. So we gotta go to which one? 11's
76, 530.
5:30.
6, 5:30.
Do you do anything else on 911 except for just part-time?
We did a wine measure.
Two.
Right. Okay, did you get all that? Okay, I did.
Keep going.
Sorry, keep going.
So we have in this the superintendent, assistant superintendent. and An increase in the dollars for part-time clerical. And that's probably just anticipating a raise. Is that right?
In the part-time clerical, it'd be their matrix.
Oh, move up in the matrix too, so we probably need to address. So that's another question on these part-times and like in this case. Will the dollars might not be enough that's requested or that we've granted because of
But you gave me permission to adjust.
the adjusted? Okay, so we don't need to do anything in this line item.
I wouldn't think so unless she fills her part-time or somewhere else. Because you already gave the 50 cents or the 3% across the board for all of that, and then I will go back and adjust. Unless you're just gonna leave that dollar amount. And
That's
not
what I
worry
was-
about it.
That, yeah,
You could do either way, part-time, because if she thought she needed another one, she can bring another one in.
whatever's easiest for you. You do the work, not us. How do you want us to do it? You care?
I probably have that, I would look on the average and I'd probably just leave her the same.
We just go on. Move forward. Any adjustments want to be made in there? $533.
Oh, 531.
That's where you
But that, oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm at, 530. That's the one I was on, I was looking at the next tab then. 533. 531, I'm sorry, said it again. the last line item there's a request for more dollars and that would need to be granted by us, I would think, on a.
The 17807.
Yes. I think she has more people that are interested. Probably to do that part-time CDL for winter or plowing. She
So
has the experience.
we want to take action on that line item.
I'll make that motion to approve that 17807 as requested.
Second.
Motion from Nick, seconded by David. To approve line 17807 and Highway 531 as requested. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Sharon, are we experiencing some turnover,
Starting to.
competitive market for those kind of things?
We are probably on the lower labor side.
About what?
Our labor
Our-
for highway is pretty much one of the lower ones or shots.
So, you know, this might be worthy of looking at a adjustment.
You can always go back and look in your fact books too. I mean, that's 24 numbers, but you can look in your fact book for.
I just know it seems like there seems to be a turnover there again. We've kind of gotten away from that for a while, like where we're at.
The
Okay.
problem is you've got some that are on the older side, not,
I know.
and then she has a lot of very young, inexperienced, but they're gonna be chasing that dollar too, even with the.
Well, until you get to the, you know, once you get to the longevity portion of it, then we become kind of competitive again. It's just keeping those young people long enough to get.
I understand the conversation about the competitive and salaries competitive with relation to other highway departments, but the last one left is getting ready to leave, going to the railroad.
But I know we've lost a couple to state highway. Like there was another one went to, didn't one go to Jasper? I don't remember. I don't know, it's just. The CDL drivers have the opportunity, I mean, that's. Yeah, right now, but whatever, I don't care. I mean, we're.
I'm not saying that it doesn't need to be increased, but I'm just saying that as far as the
You're not-
highway labor career, if you wanna call it, it just doesn't seem to always stay with. There's just more opportunities to go to other venues. Like railroad or.
But it's hard to get her to fill those spots, and then that's when she's putting in the young kids, no experience.
we're-
I actually had someone that was interested, that was perfect, but he couldn't take a pay cut. I mean, the hours, everything worked for him, he had the experience, but he just couldn't take that pay cut. And he was from Jasper County, not their highway department, but just lived across in Jasper County, and so he couldn't afford that pay cut.
Do you know what kind of job he was doing before?
What he was doing before?
Yeah.
Well, he was currently working at a grain elevator, but he has done road, paving, hole patching, heavy equipment. He had a lot of experience. Got as far as the pay, and then that's when he just, you
How
know, just
far-
time to think about it, crunch numbers, and said he can.
How far off are we from what he wanted?
Like $11.
Which, I mean, that's a big jump,
Mm-hmm.
but
That's my big jump.
what's the base pay for a labor coming in before,
1.989.
what is it at year 6 then, when you get to longevity?
22.038. That's at 5 years.
seems like that's a lot of money, but then
So their average salary is anywhere between 43,000 and 45,000 a year.
I don't care, I mean, it's up to you guys. What's up?
I think it needs to go, you know, honest with you.
Above the 50 cent would be like.
What I proposed was that a $2 raise rate on the base rate. That's what I figured in for the budget.
That's what's on the request.
Yes.
13-14%. 109. Yeah.
There, but. I mean, it's probably more than we've done for a while. Maybe others, if you wanted another, an additional 50 cents, which would be an hour.
Say, a neighboring county is offering an additional $1 per hour if you already. If you will be one of the CDL drivers or come with a CDL already. As ours isn't structured that way, but.
Didn't see what the pay is. It just says it's.
Well, 20.
Abby.
So they're at 20.
A question from the commissioner's side. So if Sharon comes to us and says, I have this person that wants to come in and they come with CDL and they come with years of experience, like I know we've allowed the conversation to happen before in different departments in the past. Not necessarily since I've been a commissioner, but how would you all like that conversation to be had or not to be had? Just so hopefully maybe we can now pass on that opportunity, have that opportune person. But, at the time that a conversation comes up like that, it's kind of, from the commissioner side, it's just kind of hard to, we have the conversation, but then it's just kind of like,
I think in the other departments where we've granted someone to come in with their experience, it's all in a pay matrix that Sharon doesn't have. So, we could move in the ambulance, if you've been a paramedic for 10 years, we grant them to come in in the matrix. I'm just telling this, maybe we don't.
But I thought you also gave every leader the right, if they did come in, they could be brought in at a 2 or 3 or 5% in the pay matrix. They just still had to complete 5 years before longevity kicked in.
Well,
I
no,
thought
I
you
don't, I think we did that, so
Right.
you could start off.
But I
and
didn't
then-
have that.
Yeah, but I mean,
Every leader had that right. They made that a while ago.
Yeah, we probably just didn't get the word out.
it'd just be
and I
nice.
apologize because I maybe wasn't
I
aware
think,
of that.
you're right.
Just found out.
You guys remember that?
Yeah.
We did that.
Somebody's
And
base
it's a
pays
little-
20, and then we gotta train them, get a CDL and train them everything. Somebody walks in already.
But unfortunately,
I don't know how to
there
do
isn't
it.
a pay matrix in the highway department like there is in the others that's based. More on.
And a person may come in with a CDL claiming they have all kinds of experience. But it's not like a paramedic that has that certification.
Yeah,
You know.
I was thinking that too.
I could say I had 15 years' experience running an excavator. I ran it a couple of times, but, and that'd be the only difference between highway department and a
And just
paramedic,
held a
you know.
CDL for 20 years, doesn't mean you ever drove a truck.
Right.
yeah.
But how much does it cost us to train somebody to get a CDL?
It's pretty expensive. so.
6,000?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where something, they already have that.
Yeah, that's a case where maybe we need to implement a bonus, it's a sign-on bonus,
Sheriff's Department, so,
they have that for, if
but they still have to complete.
and they also have to guarantee that they're gonna be there for, I think the sheriff's department, isn't it 3 years, Tom?
The only. No, that doesn't have anything to do with that $5,000 that they get for staying for 5 years. I think what you may have been talking about was the training reimbursement agreement.
Is that what it is?
No, it's different than, just getting that bonus or your $5,000 after, 5th year. But there's no requirement that they stay, well, if you don't stay 5 years, you don't get the $5,000, but
Yes.
with the training agreement, it's sort of, it is a contract that indicates that, if we provide them the training to, as part of their employment, and they actually complete it, then they have to stay, 3 years. And then they can go anywhere else. But if they leave prior to 3 years, they have, prior to 3 years, they have to, pay, yeah, whatever. Portion of that training, wherever it is, from the day they got, hired to the day that they separate.
And the highway and EMS has followed that same contract. Because EMS will pay for paramedic school or whatever, and then the highway now, or the county upfronts, they're CDL. But they mirrored their contracts just the way the sheriffs have done theirs.
In fact, highway, we just revised that contract not even 2 months ago to reflect the new charges for the city.
Definitely have to keep up with those rates too, as time goes by.
Which the one person that is leaving, they haven't even completed their 3 years, so they're willing to even pay out what they owe on their contracts.
Is that the one going to the railroad?
No.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good argument, because you can't go even with them.
What are we gonna do? Go to lunch.
Let's get this out of the way.
That's what I'd like, so. Yeah, ideas, man.
Hey, did you ever suggest him?
I don't know.
I don't wanna complicate it any more than how it already is, as far as the payroll portion of it.
You know.
Heidi has an idea. Discussion, go ahead.
No, I don't wanna complicate it as far as the payroll portion of it, but. I mean, how many of the laborers have a CDL or are asked to get a CDL or
All of them have to have it.
all the laborers? Really?
Most of their time spent in the truck.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know if those were CDL related trucks or, how many people were assisting other people, like
And
the
correct me if
project.
I'm wrong, but if they don't have a CDL, we provide it. Correct?
They sign a contract to go through the schooling for it.
But they do get paid a little less, don't they, until they get the CDL?
Yes, they took a lesser rate, a non-CDL.
Like a. Well,
Until they get the CDL and then we bump.
Just text the commissioner from Jasper County, what do you guys pay your highway department guys, mid-60s? I'm like, after overtime report, it's like 0. They only get comp time, no overtime. So what do our guys make after overtime?
I think they also have a take-home truck. I think they all take the trucks home.
With Jasper County,
It makes it so hard to put apples to apples if they're not getting overtime, but they're making mid.
Their highway
mid-60s.
department.
Well, they
doesn't give that
have to
much.
get overtime when they're out beyond their 40 hours. You have to pay them that.
He said,
They get
Well,
comp
they
time.
get it
for
one way or the
comp.
other, and comp time costs them more than paying it out, I'll guarantee you that. That's why we eliminated it.
But she has been pretty much, there is overtime, you can't help it in the winter times or sometimes during chip and seal, but pretty much because you guys, or they've changed their hours during the summer, they're 4 10-hour days. And then in the winter, they go back to 5 8-hour days. And she is pretty good. There is not a whole lot times of overtime spent in there. I mean, she hasn't budgeted, but it's not as much as you think.
Haven't had any
It's just-
snowstorms in a while.
Until then.
Yeah.
I've seen nothing but black woolly worms.
I know.
I know.
There's some seeds of a spoon now.
Steve, what was your comparison to Jasper County? What's the bottom line?
they're 65, but they don't do overtime.
How does that equate to us with some overtime?
That's why I just asked, they really don't know.
Well, I mean, our guys are in the upper 40, mid to upper 40s. 50. That's because they're working more overtime.
Amy, are you looking up something there?
So currently, right now, this year, out of the 73,000 she's asked for overtime, she's only spent 21,000. I mean, it's a lot, but
That's our $1,600 across 13 laborers.
and she doesn't have 13, there's I think you're still too short, aren't you?
Well, I will be, I've got one position that I can't touch right now. And then, one that is gonna be opening up in the next week. So,
And pretty much she's been almost too short, seems like this whole year.
So you've had-
One is guaranteed, but
had two that were out for medical.
We come up with something equitable, do you think you could get the Jasper County guy to come?
sorry, what's that?
Do you think you could get the Jasper County client to come if we come up with something equitable on our rate wage increase?
What, you compare with what they have?
I think what he's asking is the guy that didn't accept the job because he couldn't
Oh.
take a pay cut. Do you think if the council ups the rate that you might reconsider and
If it's what you're asking right now.
Yes, because he really was looking for something that had our schedule. Like I said, he had all the experience. He really wanted to come work with us, but it was just dollars, was the only.
is that what you're asking, David?
Yes, it is, that's what I was asking, thank you.
What did we say the hourly was for the laborers?
Right now, it's
981.
That's the base.
Sorry,
That's the base.
it's 20 what?
981.
Yeah. And if you're here, you're sick, or when you meet the 6-year, 5-year, it's a dollar more, is that right? A year 6 is about $1 more.
roughly, yeah, like $1.63.
I would make a motion. I don't know if you guys want to entertain a flat rate or not, but to increase the hourly rate by $1 for each one for the hourly position.
Above the 50 cents that we've already given.
That's just all about.
Yeah, not including the 3%, but just making it a flat dollar.
That roughly half your. Which
So
was
$1 total,
Yes,
okay, increasing another 50 cents.
yeah, yes.
It's gonna be $1.50 total, correct?
No,
Which is
$1. So
So 6%? An additional 50 cents.
Yeah.
On top of 6%, 50 cents, so we've already granted.
is that what your motion is?
Yes,
It does now.
You need a second, Scott?
I do.
I'll second that.
I understand, right, Heidi's motion is seconded by Mick to add an additional 50 cent per hour raise onto is it all the full-time employees in this budget, I assume, the general fund?
yes.
In the 531 maintenance and repair budget, an additional 50 cents an hour above the 50 cent an hour that was granted here to across the board employees. Making- I'm
Shaking her head, yeah.
What do they have part-time, the only part-time in here is the part-time CDL driver.
We already addressed
So-
that.
Well, we just addressed the dollars, we didn't address the salary, so, correct. On that line item.
Right, but there's still an hourly rate in for
Right.
part-time.
Right,
That's why I'm asking, are we going to
and you
do?
said yes.
Yes,
That would include the part-time CDL driver would be increased an additional 50 cents.
So that this would be all the labor and part-time. line
Correct.
items in the 1,000 series of 0531.
Yes,
Matt, what's the financial impact? You mentioned a figure, I think, for each dollar an hour we would raise for the department.
Essentially, every percent is 100,000, but that's everybody. I
that
don't
was
know
on
what
the
that
whole
would be.
budget. Well, you know what,
Can you project what it would be for the
Well,
1%?
right here. A 1% in highway is $11,050
Per person or across the board?
in the budget.
That's total budget.
That's
So
fine,
every
yeah,
one-
everything.
Every 1% is $1,100.
Yeah, 11,000.
11,000.
Yeah.
11,000.
Yeah.
So we're actually almost 6%.
Yeah.
So
60.
67,000.
My thought on discussion is that I appreciate what Heidi said, but we're bringing it up a dollar with the 50 and the 50. It's what your proposal is. And Sharon says we need to be at $2, and I'm more inclined to see if we can closer to $2 than $1. But that's just my,
You think it should be more?
I do.
And I disagree, but
No, it's
That's
just
a big
how, I know. I just want to ask what the financial impact would be.
Are you
Anybody
making
else?
a motion?
no, you
Oh,
got
you have
motion on the floor.
motion.
Motion on the
We're waiting
floor.
for second.
Any other discussion? We're ready to vote. All those in favor of the motion to increase an additional 50 cents per hour on basically all the employees in 531 maintenance and repair highway budget, making a total of $1 an hour raise from last year.
Who seconded?
I did. Everybody clear on that? All those in favor of that motion, say aye.
Yes.
Aye. What? Go
It's
ahead.
the entire 1,000.
The entire 1,000.
Okay. Yeah.
Including part-time. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? I think everybody voted. Pass. Hope it helps. So is there, we have one laborer and a mechanic in the next budget in 533? Correct?
It's not one laborer, it's any of them that help being assistant to the mechanic, they get, 65 cents an hour? So yeah, you'll have to address that too.
That
'Cause it
sounds
is
like,
set
that
up.
sounds like a nightmare. Is that hard to track? Is it a lot of work? For you?
They don't usually.
They track it and we put it, we have a 65 cent rate set for, it's a labor to mechanic, so they get their hourly rate plus the 65 cents if they help them mechanic. But I don't know if you wanna raise that, but it does have its own rate, just to let you know. I'd probably not have added a full 50 cents to that, but
Well, we didn't yet. That's in the
No.
budget.
according to your first motion, I'm just saying.
I love that.
Well, that brings up some discussion. I don't know if that first motion, because we granted a 50 cent raise to their salary. This is a stipend.
Okay.
And that's the way I would take it.
Correct, it would be a stipend.
This would.
Yeah, how you can interpret it.
No, well, and that's why we need,
Yeah.
that's why it's
Yeah.
good that it comes up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's me.
It's,
I wouldn't take, because, I mean, basically, then you're getting $1 more for.
Have to go back and address it.
So the 11103 is basically, that's the 65 cent an hour with helping them. So does anybody have a desire to change that? And it's this requested is the same as last year. But the garage mechanic is a salary that has not, so far it's gotten the original 50 cents.
Yeah, it's got the 50.
And I assume that's the same base as everything else, so.
The mechanic is the same as regular laborer.
he gets a little bit more, he does have his own matrix,
But I would think if you gave an extra 50 cents to everybody else, you better do this one.
Do we even have a mechanic now?
yes. Right now, he's at 21,707 is the base rate.
21,707.
So he's a little above the regular labor because he carries certification.
I think he'll be making 22.50. No, 22.20. With the 50 cent raise.
With the additional 50 or just the.
Well, just with the 50. It'll bump him up to 22.20.
Well, it seems to me like if you've done everybody else in the building, you better do this one too.
Otherwise, the mechanics go on the railroad.
Yeah.
They're my matrix also,
They're just the regular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pay matrix.
yes. So the base rate was 21,707, but the mechanic that I have there now, he's been there 5 years, so he's at 22,792. Whereas a regular laborer, I mean, it's like a 75-cent difference from
To be a
the
mechanic.
laborer. It makes it
But either way, oh, well, if we don't add another 50 cents on it, he's gonna be under the rest of it.
Correct, yes.
Which,
You mean additional to the original 3%?
we don't, just like we did in the last budget, if you don't put another 50 cents on it, he's gonna be the lowest paid.
Now, for what it's worth, I mean, he's making more than the other laborers for a reason.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
with
his-
that being the case, I don't know why we shouldn't do the original 3 plus 3, like we did.
Yeah, for sure. I think we got it.
And that's a motion, and I don't know that anything else on there, that particular line item needs, or that series needs addressed.
I don't think so. I didn't pause.
Is there a second?
No.
So this, is that set as the same as the laborers, the original 50 plus an additional 50?
We're getting there.
Okay.
That, to add 3% to the original 3.
50 cents.
Yeah, the 50 cents. I'll second that.
David.
Oh, David did?
Oh, I didn't hear
No, I
that.
asked if there was a second. I did not second it.
Oh, I thought it did.
A motion by Tom, second by Matt to put an additional 50-cent raise on line 11107 garage mechanic in 533 general unrestricted budget, making the total increase in salary $1 per hour for 2026.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And we don't need to do anything with overtime, you don't think, right? Tammy, in dollars?
I would think so.
Do we need to,
She budgeted 8,000 for this year and is spent right at 4,000. Should be good with the raises in there.
So do we need to make motion to approve the rest as submitted then?
well, Tammy will make those adjustments.
Yeah, we have that motion already done for fixed FICA and all that other
And
stuff.
health insurance didn't request any more than last year, so,
In all the funds?
yeah. Pre-trial supervision
But we need to go back,
officer,
was it done with highway?
I think so.
We need to go back to,
Oh, yeah, we better go back and pick up ambulance or we'll be in trouble. Or we can do, are you waiting on us, Mike, for?
Yeah, well, in terms of the contractual agreements, is that something that's still kind of in front of you for the payroll?
We want us to zero that out,
I thought we already approved.
I think we
whatever.
approved,
I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, we,
Plus,
I think
this
we
is my
approved the
first budget hearing,
contract.
so I just wanted to sit through it.
I think that was all approved with the other series.
I think so too.
And I thought so too, but
You're welcome to stay. I just didn't.
no,
want
I,
you to be in here if you didn't
again, I
want to.
wanted to be here, but I didn't know how long I had to. Or I wanted to learn, but I didn't know how long. So, thank you.
But we didn't want to be here this. You've already, you probably learned enough.
So you're still at 85 and then the others, if you need Tim to help, or are you increasing yours to 87?
No, I was going to leave 2 there
Okay.
or 10 for any side, so mine was not an increase.
Okay, perfect.
So that's correct. So back to ambulance. Uh, It's a tab.
It is 0.
Oh.
115. Is that where we're at?
Ambulance is 1150,
151.
and then they have a landfill budget too. But that's just overtime and stuff in there. Or did we zero that out?
I don't remember, Ken. If we zeroed it out, we probably need to move it into this one, no?
Oh, no, you gave it as requested in the link though. So you just gotta deal with this one.
Got a leak over there?
I do. I'm gonna admit it if we don't take a break.
Wait.
My thoughts on this, I'll give you my thoughts. Seems like we're in the ambulance budget over the years a lot. And a lot of times we, like I said before, it seems like we think we're doing the right thing and then we find out because we haven't taken our time. I'm not saying what Jeremy's requested isn't factual, but maybe we ought to. We can always come back and adjust later. Does that make sense to anybody?
No. So as it stands, we got
Because she-
50 cent an hour increase.
They've gotten a 50 cent an hour increase. And the way I understood, if I remember right, what he said, it was maybe like the middle portion of his matrix is where he
15
wanted to
years
make
and beyond.
adjustments.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a specific thing that we probably ought to research a little bit more with him.
Yep.
To make sure we try to get it right.
Oh, yeah.
I agree, because you said the beginning and the end were really good.
The
middle, he
end,
struggled.
I think is a problem, and I know.
And because it does have it, so we need to.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to choose my wording wisely. As far as neighboring counties, I know. There's, when you get into this part of the pay metrics with the ones that are higher up, it becomes snowballs into $1,000 a month difference.
Okay.
Well, I mean, what seems like not a lot per hour, it does grow. And I've had that information sent to me also.
But, you know, I better rush into this and then find out 2 months or, January 1st, about the time that it takes effect that, well, this ain't gonna work either.
So are you wanting to make any, or I should say, are you suggesting to have no action on this, including the 3% across the board, or just leave it at that? The 3%?
I would just do the 50 cent we gave. I mean, I guess that's what I'm thinking. At this point.
Is that a motion?
Well, I don't, if we don't do anything different, we'll have to make a motion. It's already been done.
Be that.
But whatever you guys wanna do, that's just my thoughts.
Well, I can't help but agree just because of the complexity of this whole budget in the first place. I give Tammy kudos for keeping up with this.
I don't know how to do it. And honestly, she was right when she said, we were changing this every 2 months there for a while. I don't know how they kept up.
I know, I got
It was a mess. Isn't it?
It's not my job to keep it clear. What else? Pay metric plus longevity plus the else.
The whole thing needs to be looked at.
She keep that straight.
I don't know.
Employees.
How's the best way to proceed before the next budget? Or if we do something mid-year, usually whatever. Would it be a committee of the commissioners of the council? I think we should.
I know you're part of that committee, because she's so limited, and. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we need to. It needs to be looked at. Start soon.
Yeah, but I don't think we can fix it for this budget, but.
Well, we can actually, I mean, before this budget's approved, probably not, right? But before the year's out, you can still make adjustments.
They're getting paid more in the highway department. I mean, to me, that's this department's not saying that.
It needs to
I don't
be.
think anybody's fault.
No, it's
just.
it kind of took a life.
It's all together. It's like a whole house. You just keep adding.
Can I make a motion to form a committee to discuss this with council commissioners?
Let's just do it. Or let's just do it again.
Okay.
Scott, not that I have a vote, but I would suggest both council and commissioners considering having some sort of workshop
That's.
where we invite someone from the Indiana Association of Counties to come up and, talk about how we're the counties doing it. Is there a easier way than how we're doing it? And just make it a workshop.
Jeremy mentioned if we do increase our lid, there's 0.4% assessment that can be used to offset this, correct?
Yeah.
That has to be considered. Many to do that.
restrictions.
I don't think
Or they used to be.
do that until 2025.
But we're gonna do some.
And I know the ambulance is, I can make it work, but it's still not fair view. This is nuts. This is, I've never seen
But I
anything
think
like
that
this.
It won't go in effect until 2026.
Correct, yeah, it doesn't do anything for this, but yeah.
Planning ahead.
Yeah. So is there any motions, any desire to adjust anything on, in the 1,000 category in this budget? There's a decrease in overtime. Is that right? In holiday pay, you're gonna take care of that.
He's fully staffed, so there's decrease in overtime, make up to the.
Health insurance, do we need to, well, part-time paramedic, I guess. Ask them for more dollars. You don't think we need to do that? You'll make that adjustment, Tammy? No, this probably should be.
What's that?
The health insurance for the, you know. It's requested the same as last year. So. And she's gonna make the adjustments on insurance. I think. We good? Put it in the next budget. Health. You requested no changes. Even in the 1,000s. But they got a raise. Haven't run. 1159. Is there anything in that, in 1159, Tammy, that you see we need to do?
I just don't know what you guys are gonna do to get in next year.
So we got terms, you're gonna, if you were a nurse, would you can work for $37,000 a year?
Oh, no, she gets more than that.
Right, because she's paid out of 2 budgets.
So we're good. Had to be good.
It's a little over 50, I think.
50 is what I thought it was.
She is based on 57,600, and that's not including adding the increase.
So base pay right now is 57,000 change.
Yeah, 57,600.
You put another 1,000 on that.
That's what comes from the grant or the state.
So that's her total salary. And then what I have to do is I take her total salary minus the grant. Then I take that number to figure out what she gets paid at 1159. This is a fun split, let me tell
That's an RN? And
you. It is an RN. position.
required by the state to be RN?
Is the grant continuing or is it?
The
subject to
the
go
grant
away?
is continuing, we just did not receive as much money. The state thought we were gonna get all this and we did not. So this year we had $300,000 given to us. They're not taking that dollar away. But for next year, we will not get as much money.
But can we depend on the money? It's not something that's subject to legislation.
I feel we've had a grant to offset the county general for a long time. I just don't foresee it going completely away.
I think you had the question, Matt. Mary Kay from the health board did check and it does need to be an RN.
I said, I
Yeah,
thought
it-
when I looked at
it
the
does.
IC code too.
It
I
does.
knew that. Yeah.
How far is that 57,600 off from? Like what an RN should make?
Probably about 40,000 more.
Yeah, we're not doing that, but it's takes a friend of mine who's an RN who runs a health department for
At least
the state.
And
I should answer this. I don't know why it's on. What?
Your passbook, it'll kind of tell you.
Of Jasper County, it's makes 30 or 40,000 more, their health nurse than here at our, and I realize the population is
Right.
more than
I
double
mean,
over
they have
there.
a lot of people to help, they do.
they're saying 90,000 for Jasper County.
Yeah. And they have staff beneath them that do the shots and that type of thing, but they do offer more services. And they do have, obviously, more residents in their county that require those services.
So we would still be somewhere between where
Well,
we are
Benton
now and
County
Jasper
makes
County.
30,000 more also.
Jasper County.
And is that a position we have to have, or is that something we can outsource to some firm to come? Once a week or twice a week or something?
I think you have to have
Well, I
a
think-
health nurse.
I think you have to have a county health officer.
Okay.
That's a real problem. We can't have a doctor.
Right.
You have to have a doctor, because your county health officer, the nurse isn't the county health officer. The
She
health,
gets that covered by talking to a doctor, correct?
no, that they have to get a doctor to. Who it is now. Keep using an Illinois doctor for his case, who still is.
So you just, you just passed Benton's, I think theirs is 85,000.
Well,
But
but we don't
being
even
the
have,
same population as us,
I'm trying to figure.
it's not
trying to-
legacy orders, same population.
I haven't found the health department in here. Health department, now we're getting some population, public health, there's. Benton 60,000, Crawford's 41,000. Martin only says 5,000, Newton's 57, Ohio 63, Pike 63, Alaska is 55 to 64, I don't know what that brings. Go up a class, 55, 56, 42 to 49, 61, 7. What page is that on, God? I'm on 21 now. 20 is, or 23 is the page that, 20 is the page we're on.
Or 20 right now.
22, I'm sorry. 22 is we're on. Okay. I'm on 20. And it's the third column of it.
So those are 24 numbers, not 25, but
So I mean, you know, there are some in the low 50s. There are some in the upper 40s, most are in the 60s.
Crawford County's 41.
Yeah, so, but these are 2-year-old numbers.
I say we looked it up on open payrolls the one day.
Yeah, Perry County's 42 to 49.
Jasper's 63. They were,
Maybe they have
they
other-
were 63.
Maybe they have other responsibility, like maybe on open payrolls, it's combining two things like that
Well,
full-time thing.
That's the
plus
problem.
Something
And
secondary.
even within this book, it's not always apples to apples.
Right.
Right.
You have to be kind of careful what you're looking at. LaGrange is 81. Obviously a bigger county.
Well, this is a little closer to us at 20,000 population there at 74.4.
Is there anything in the books saying that if they work for us and it's Monday through Friday, that they can't work hospital? on weekends?
No,
That's just, I mean, it's
they're
kind of
it's not an exclusive, they can do.
They had counted 23,000 population.
I don't even know if they have a full time. Yeah, get the job done.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they have to be here for, and I don't know that.
I feel like it's done perfect for a young mother, for an older person.
It is.
Instead of find the right person as well and say, hey, these are great benefits and great hours.
Huh?
Yeah, go.
I think, Taylor told my wife that the job really worked well for her in the situation.
told me that
she was
last week.
in.
I said-
You know, it just was perfect, but she's
Now she's past that.
Graduated
Now she
on.
gets money and
for several years, our nurse was someone that was towards the end of their nursing career.
Yeah,
And
I
it
mean,
worked
good
well
for them
into
too.
that. It's just, is it time yet?
Here's,
You can go ahead.
there's Benton County. This is where I came, I didn't want you to think I was just out of my mind. That's the number they have listed. For the person that does that position. They,
This, hey Tammy,
Gateway should
4880
show that.
in here, that's the only. That would just be added on to that 57.6. There's not another number somewhere else, right?
I'm sorry, where?
I'm sorry, on the health department for the first line there, for the 4,880 additional.
The reason that's an additional is because she had to reduce an 1161 because they're not getting as much money. So she's added that portion back to this.
So that get with that 4880 just as the 50, whatever you said, 57.6.
That's
Yes.
figure 57.6, right?
Yes.
You sure these are 24 numbers? Are these 25 numbers in this?
No, because we're in 25.
Yeah, it's gonna be last year's. number.
I can't give you 25 numbers.
Correct.
Yeah, 25.
It comes, no. There's 25 appropriations, it says in here, and that's what,
In the back, so they want to know what we appropriate for
Oh, I see.
25. So yes, there is, but when you're looking at wages and what's spent and stuff, that's all 24 numbers.
but I thought when. I didn't think we increased that until 25, and it still shows the 57.
Is that an hourly position or salary?
Salary.
Salary?
We still figure in hourly in it, it's a department head, so they are salary, they're exempt from overtime, but they still have to come in to use vacation. So it's still kind of required to work 40 hours a week.
Does it have to be a full-time position or can it be a part-time?
I think you have to have full-time.
I thought full-time, but I'm not 100% sure. And then once again, the health budget is, it's not in county general, but it's a part of that,
It has a tax rate.
that has a tax rate, so.
Yeah.
Maybe. We end up having to have more money in this, we're gonna take money away from county general or reassessment or what, ambulance is the other, that are ambulance.
Do they have to live in Newton County?
I would guess not, because the health officer doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, it's not an elected position, so I presume that they could come from anywhere.
But I honestly don't know that, Steve, but I would think not.
Yeah, same. I got a few nurse friends and family, and I was like, I mean, who do you know? And is this salary bad, you know? Everybody I've talked to,
Well,
all agree that, no, it's a great job for the right person, and it's good paid for the right person.
Usually a retiring RN.
Yeah.
And they work well in that position.
Yeah.
Less hectic, less stress.
So in your advertisements, you may wanna include for job opening for retired RN.
Well, Regina said, she was, why don't you start advertising at nursing schools as they graduate?
Because they're gonna be
Right.
trying to work their way up.
But. It's not all bad either. I don't know what to do.
If you hire an older one, you're only gonna have 4 or 5 years, they're gonna be.
So do we wanna make a special adjustment in this, or leave all alone, or?
Well, what do you think would be a reasonable offer?
I'm not
You know, they're capable of making 85,000-90,000 without much.
The workload's obviously a lot different, but if you
They
take
gotta
into
try.
consideration the education that's required for this, you would think you would wanna be at least above the lowest department head pay. I mean,
And we are, but just barely.
And that was part of the issue why we lost. Because of the education level.
I think that contributed, but I think it was also. A young person that was ready to move, life had changed and was ready to move into. Something a little more exciting in
Big
her
city.
career, I think.
Big bucks.
But yeah, but you know, she's driving 2 hours a day, you know, I mean, that's part of it too. is- is,
I think a lot of people who are under a certain age don't look at the benefits, the retirement,
A lot of stress.
I mean, way less stress, but how do you tell someone who's 25 or 30 that?
Right.
I mean, you could have told me that.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the best comparisons locally is what are our schools paying their nurses? And I don't know the answer to that, but
I think we're.
that's where we ought to look. I mean,
Didn't
should be.
that's where Ken won.
One a couple years
We did,
When
and
kids
then,
left,
but then we increased the salaries.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things to hire the next one, we paid more.
Probably.
Which is what we do all the time.
Kim was looking for that 9-month job. But she thought.
Well, that paid in us too, or, but it was dollars was.
Yeah. That's what, yeah,
That's what got her looking. Well, then if the dollars are the same or even more and you're only one 9 months.
Yeah.
That's a good deal. I mean, North Newton just, they changed nurses, but it's a little different too, because that nurse is actually teaching LPN class and things.
Yeah.
Aside from the nurses' duties.
Have the commissioners, have you interviewed anybody for this? Any,
The HR board would do it.
That's not us.
But I don't think they've had that either. I don't think anybody's even applied.
I'm, in my head, I'm thinking around, I know it's a lot, but increasing the wage to 75,000 to try to bring somebody in.
I think that's kind of high. I think it's too high.
Pardon?
I don't think that will be the answer. I mean, it's up to you guys. I'm just saying that. If 60 doesn't get you and they wanna make 90, I don't think 75 is gonna make the difference. I just think, I just don't know how you find the right person to do it for 60, 65.
I'm hoping we find somebody for 75 that's wanting to slow it down a little bit or not quite as.
I think they would do it for 60 if they're trying to slow down a little bit.
Well, I was thinking 65.
Yeah, 60, 60.
Was kind of the figure I had in mind.
So we're at 58, so we're
Right.
right.
58 now, and we added another,
57,555.
We had another 5, we're at
But they're up
62.
for the summer.
Yeah.
What's that take me out?
South Newton is, for 2024, South Newton paid their nurse $57,555.10, but they get the summers off.
Yeah.
so
That's
what's
9 months
what's
worth.
25% higher than 57.5? You guys would have smart heads.
57, 30.
What's North Newton?
That's what I'm looking.
Another 15,000.
I'm on Gateway
Yeah.
where I find
Well,
these
about
numbers where we
14,000.
have to report our 100R.
14.
71.
But North Newton-
Full-time equivalent for 12 months versus 9 is closer to 7.
North Newton has one nurse, and
What's
then they
the,
have,
what'd you
in
say
the
that salary
in the
was?
other 3 grades.
57,555.
They have someone designated.
And you want a 25%?
No, they have a person in each school that's.
I was gonna say,
But
Lincoln, we've had the same one. for-
but they're not nurses.
That's pretty
They,
good.
they can be like CNA
I
or.
don't know how you guys do
They
that.
have, I'm not even sure they all are that.
Oh, I got you.
What they do is they just picture a bunch of apples,
They talk to the nurse.
and then you got 10 apples, and these apples.
But there is a nurse
You
in the
want to
system.
send out, what, 25%?
I'm
of those 10
Lincoln
apples
had
are-
the same
Yeah,
You just,
person.
Broncos.
as far as the value.
And she might be an LPN, although I don't think so. I think she's had a little better training.
I look at it as 58, half of that's
But not now.
29, half of that's 14 and a half, so I had 14.
But anyway,
I've got apples and oranges going
But
on.
the
And I'm a little bit
nurse at
like,
North Newton now
apples
is
and I'm gonna here.
classes, some health type
Your apple
to be a.
actually pretty
Well,
close. I do.
they really are now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe we should switch to 57 or 60, you just gotta advertise it better and try to find. recruiters. I don't know, I mean, that's.
Then you start comparing.
What do we wanna do? We're getting,
Then you're all.
Yeah, we're.
this always happens
Stick around.
the last.
I'm gonna make a motion.
Let me see which one.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a
David,
motion.
That's 60,000.
For how much?
I'm gonna make a motion that we increase the nurses, public health nurse position to $71,000 even.
7,000 even.
And you,
And that my explanation is that's if South Newton is paying 57.7 for 9 months, we would be a quarter more than that,
And
Which-
25%.
25% more than South Newton's rate, which would put us at about 71.
To make it a 12-month pay.
Make it a 12-month pay
9
equivalent.
months.
which actually they work about 10 total. They're not off. They're not off.
Yeah, they're not up.
Right.
But cool.
But still,
And
that.
and actually they have some responsibilities somewhere too, but whatever, it's not.
Right.
it's not gonna
I'm gonna
be-
go with 71. I gotta start somewhere. We'll see if we can agree to do that or not.
I have a question before I may second that. You were saying something earlier, Scott, if this goes up though, because of the way it's funded, we have to take something else down.
Well, if we increase the budget in health enough that we have to change the rate, the tax rate, then we would have to decrease the rate a little bit, either in county general, ambulance, or reassessment. Is that right, Tammy? Those are the 4 that are in the. She's conscious.
He's trying to find something.
So within our levy.
If you look at what this sheet that she just sent, if you're looking at 1159. Currently, we're not touching cash reserve, we have a 43%. I can tell you health and ambulance is one, we usually have to keep reducing county general and putting into there because they are not fundable. And the only reason the health right now has more is because the last couple of years we've been able to have that healthy health grant.
Right.
Okay.
So we don't move money out of county general, it's all done through the rate when we collect taxes. So if we have a dollar out here. County general gets 50 cents, health gets 20, I'm just throwing out figures.
Yeah.
Reassessment gets a little bit, ambulance gets a little bit, so we got a pie.
Yeah.
We can't adjust the size of the pie, but we can adjust the size of the pieces. Within the pie, so if we increase the spending in any one of those. To a point we don't have cash reserves for it, then we decrease. But if we increase the rate in any one of them, we have to decrease the rate in something else within that.
Yeah.
Now,
You did send the
health is a pretty small portion of the pie,
It's 45.
so you could increase it by 10%, and only if you're taking that money out of county general, you want to reduce county general 1%.
Right.
You know,
You guys hear that?
percentage.
The friend of mine, she's the director of the state of. She said they start their departments at 45,000.
Yeah, I do.
Something that. We're more than the state of Indiana.
North Newton is 58,895. And then they have 4 other health assistants, and they're anywhere between 16,000 and 40,000.
We upped it to 71, I think Taylor probably come back.
I think she would.
I'm wondering the same thing.
I think that's,
I don't think she'd come back. At that,
I maybe not, because she's already left, she's already took a position, but
she might stay.
I think she, if I understand correctly, she's like at 65, I'd say. But
Well, to try to compare apples to apples and the education level and so on, I understand that the ambulance is a lot more variables, a lot more high stress, and he's got other responsibilities besides patient care. But the prior, well, not even worrying about the prior, because we've already voted on that. After the 3%, he's gonna be at 73,492. His requirements for
Jeremy.
his requirements for education are lower than that of an RN.
plus he has a $20,000 stipend. Cause he can almost make $100,000.
So, yeah, when he's
But he
picking
has
up
to shift
shifts,
work.
right, he's picking up shifts and so forth, so. I mean, we definitely have to increase it. I mean, just because the state thinks they can find somebody for
yeah, I'm not saying,
23 bucks an hour.
it's right.
Just give me a second to David's motion.
Is there a second? After consideration.
Second, yeah.
Is there a second?
There's a second.
I've been asked this. Is there a second? If there's not, it's gonna die.
Do you think, Javier, that should be, that 71 is a?
I don't know if 71's the right number, but I definitely think. It's gonna need to
The
be,
last time, is there a second? Motion dies for lack of second. So now.
different motion,
Sure.
which we look at.
That doesn't, haven't had to do the parliament.
No, this is interesting.
Would you entertain your motion again, David, at 65?
Make my motion.
I'll make a motion, or Heidi had wants to do it, all right. I don't know if you were gonna go
Alright,
higher or
but-
lower, so. it was at
Okay.
62.
So with the grant currently, we're at 57, is that correct?
Well,
57,600.
it actually will be 58 something now, because we just added, with the 50-cent raise, we added $1,020.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
$1,040 too, so we're 58 something.
58,640.
There you go. Nick, it's about time.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. I could.
It was time.
May reintroduce my motion at the same rate, or is it denied because of the dollar amount?
You need to make another motion, or someone does.
I'll make a motion, we fund this position at $70,000 even.
I'll second that.
Motion from David, seconded by Heidi to set the public health nurse salary at $70,000. And I assume that's combined out of whatever budgets it goes through that.
Correct.
Peters, $70,000. Discussion? I personally think that's too high, but that's.
I think so too.
Me too. We can deny it, and entertain a lower motion, sir.
You just keep going, David.
Don't
go by
I know.
We're just gonna do an auction here.
Let's vote on it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Aye. 1, 2, 3, 4 opposed. Well, there wasn't 4 to take action, so the motion did.
Heidi, would you entertain a motion? So we get this done?
I'll make a motion to set the health department nurse salary at $65,000.
I'll second that.
Motion by Matt, seconded by David to set the salary for the health nurse position in, what's in 1159 or whatever,
1161.
in 1161 at $65,000. Correct. Whoever made that right?
Yeah, correct. Who seconded it?
David.
I did.
David. Discussion? You think it's fine?
So it's going to just be the flat, they're not going to give the 3%. Correct?
Well, my assumption it would not be.
Okay.
But it's-
Let's correct it. This is just.
That
a new
would be
rate of
what it is.
$55,000.
Yes, that's my
That was
motion. That's
today.
what-
Not an additional 3% on top. This would replace the current salary with that would have the 3%. That's the way I would.
Correct.
Yep. Everybody's shaking their head. So this would be the salary. Any other discussion? All those in favor of the motion for the nurses, the Newton County Public Health Nurse to be 65,000, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Congratulations.
Now, I'm gonna take a break. You guys wanna continue? You're in a recess? David can run the meeting, so
How much time did we have left? An hour?
I would think we'd be done. less than that.
That's great for an hour.
We keep, what David you're on.
I thought we'd be done.
Anybody else need to take a recess?
I'll go quickly.
Okay, let's recess.
I won't be here in an hour, I know that.
5 minutes and the clock is, or the timer's set.
Yes.
Coming up,